I knew the evening was about to explode the moment my sister's voice sliced through the living room like a knife. She held the small velvet box my wife had wrapped with trembling hands, stared at it, laughed, loudly enough that every cousin, every in-law, every stranger pretending not to eavesdrop turned their head. "Cheap garbage," she said, exactly what I expected from her. My wife froze. Shoulders curled inward, eyes down. I felt the room tilt, but I didn't make a sound. I simply watched my sister smirk, like she'd won something. That was the moment everything shifted, not because she insulted a gift, but because she did it after everything I'd done for her, and she thought she could walk away smiling. She had no idea she'd just detonated the fuse. People forget I wasn't always like this. There was a time I would have defended her, covered for her, even apologized on her behalf. She was my little sister after all, the kid I used to hold steady on the bike, the one I picked up from school when she cried on the phone, the one I funded through college when she had nowhere else to turn. I thought loyalty mattered to her. But loyalty means nothing to someone who believes they deserve everything and owe nothing. The truth is, the cracks had started earlier. Back when she first asked me, casually, to help with her rent just this month, then the next, then the next. Back when I co-signed her car loan because she insisted she'd pay every dime. Back when she talked about my wife like she was an inconvenience instead of the person who held my life together during the darkest years. I'd noticed the pattern long before the gift incident. The entitlement, the small jabs, the growing contempt she didn't bother to hide. Still, I tried to believe she'd grow up. Then I saw the message. She'd sent it to a mutual friend, not realizing screenshots travel faster than intentions. His wife is so plain, so boring, no class. I don't know why he married down. Married down. That was the moment the betrayal hardened into something else, something surgical. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. That's not my style. I plan, quietly, patiently, and when I move, I don't miss. Revenge isn't fire, it's ice. I started with information, contracts, agreements, old messages. Every cent I'd paid for her rent, every payment she'd missed on her Audi, every loan, every promise, every favor. People forget legal documents don't care about family ties. Then I waited for the moment she'd cross a line so deep I could act without hesitation. And she gave it to me, willingly, mocking my wife in front of everyone. That night, while she preened and rolled her eyes as if she were the victim, I went home and signed the papers I'd already prepared. Her Audi? Mine, legally, completely. Her rent payments? Terminated. Her debts? Sent for collection, and every document bore her own signature, the one she'd scribbled thoughtlessly, trusting I'd always clean up behind her. The next morning, she called me screaming, "What did you do?" "You mean," I replied evenly, "what did you do?" She didn't expect calm. Calm unnerved her. "You can't take my car." "I already did." "You can't cut my rent." "You'll manage." "You can't." "I can," I said, and I have. Silence. Thick, almost cinematic. Then she tried to pivot, crying, begging, bargaining, but I'd learned something from years of bailing her out. Guilt is her currency. Not anymore. The climax wasn't in the paperwork. It wasn't in the repossession. It wasn't in the landlord escorting her out of the apartment she once bragged about. It was in the moment she finally came to see me in person. She stood in my doorway, mascara streaked, voice trembling. My wife sat beside me, silent, dignified, still wounded. "I didn't mean it," she whispered. I leaned forward. "Yes," I said calmly, "you did. And that's the problem. Her eyes widened the moment she realized the safety net she'd abused her whole life was gone. No more favors, I continued. No more bailouts. No more treating the people I love like they're beneath you. She swallowed hard. Get your life together, but do it without my money. She looked at my wife then, really looked at her, for the first time. And the shame that hit her was almost physical. That was the real payoff. Not her losing the car, not her scrambling for an apartment. It was her finally seeing the truth. She had mocked the only people who had ever been in her corner. And I wasn't going to save her from herself anymore. People ask if I feel guilty. I don't. I feel equilibrium, a quiet, steady balance restored. Because sometimes justice isn't loud. Sometimes it's just a man choosing who he refuses to carry any longer, and letting the fall teach them everything they refuse to learn.